Happy New Year's Eve, have and have not fans. Just wanted to do a quick live stream. Doesn't mean this will be the only one I'm doing today. This is just going to be, considering New Year's Day is tomorrow, 2018 is right around the corner. I thought it'd be nice to just do a relaxing stream about, what to expect next year for the show. So it looks like 0 people are watching it right now. Looks like the connection's good. I'm assuming since it's about 10:30 a.m., a lot of people are in church right now. Hey Candace, how's it going? All right, we got some people on the stream. All right, how's everybody doing this morning? All right, well, so far so good. It looks like the connection is steady. So again, for those just tuning in, this is just going to be a relaxing stream. There we go. All right, well, Candace, I'll just make sure that in the next one we have you on here. Hey, Donnie, how's it going? CW, I see you on the screen there as well. Okay. Morning, Miss Howard. All right, and again, this is just a relaxing live stream. What I'm going to be discussing today, nothing major, but it's going to be simply 2018 is right around the corner. So these are some of my hopes for the haves and the have-nots. Again, no spoilers here, nothing confirmed. This is just freelance talking. If you want to join me, feel free to let me know. I mean, I have Google Hangouts uploaded on my second monitor, so if anybody wants to call in and we can discuss this, one-on-one, feel free to leave me your email. Or if you are already on Google Hangouts and you already linked up with me there, feel free to give me a call and I'll answer. But just to kind of get the ball, oh, hey, Beth, how you doing? All right, Donnie. Do you feel Veronica's sibling will show up before the mother? I think the mother should show up before the sibling. I definitely should. And I did see all of your questions on Facebook, and I want to get to those probably in another stream. This is just the fact that I hope 2018 definitely does a good job. That's not to say the haves and the have-nots in 2017 was bad. I feel like it started off very strong, but the pacing got slow. We added in characters like Charles, and again, I do not dislike Charles whatsoever. I think his actor does a great job. I just feel like the presidential race and then him having a storyline really kind of mucked things up, in my opinion. I feel like the Charles plot was definitely a lot of time that could have been spent elsewhere. I mean, yeah, I get that you're trying to give Candace another love interest after Oscar turned out to be a fraud, but at the same time, it's just that I feel like there are a lot of other characters on the haves and the have-nots that have other storylines that were worth exploring. Like, yeah, thanks for agreeing with Beth. I definitely think that the Charles subplot was time that could have been spent on developing Wyatt more. Wait, Donnie says, I know that 5 characters joined this season. Yeah, I mean, if y'all can list them out, for one, I'm not counting Mama Rose, because even though there's a new actress, she was still an established character. So we got Charles, we got, crap. Hang on a second, I'm thinking. This is tough. Well, there are a lot of characters that showed up that really didn't have major roles, like, the boy that's hanging around with Quita. Okay, so Justin joined this year. Was Erica already a character? I feel like Erica showed up in like season 3, so technically she was a character. She, just like Mitch, I feel like she got bumped up from secondary character to a major character. Okay, Donnie says they said some new bodyguards and Marks will join. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, well, that makes sense. I mean, Charles is closer to the White House, so it makes sense that there are more people. CW says, I agree. It was distracting to have Charles come in as a new character with a built-in storyline. Yeah, it's just the fact that it just came completely out of left field. There's never been a mention of a Charles. We never had a Cress, I do see your chat. Erica's not in the trailer. She's actually in 2 scenes of the trailer. One is where she's sitting on the steps kissing David, what I'm assuming is a new house. And then secondly, she's opening the door to that house and Candace comes in. And also, I really hope that we get some other new characters, but characters who are related to the main cast. Let's see. Yeah, we have. I can't wait for the haves and have-nots. Me neither. I mean, we only have what 10 days left, so this is it. 10 days. Yeah, Donnie, I feel like Quincy should have lived because I think there was more to his character. I really don't know about Quincy Maxwell having more character, but I feel like I wanted to know more about their son in terms of like, their connection in terms of like Candace, Quincy Jr. and Quincy. Not necessarily just Quincy himself, but Quincy, their son. And I feel like when it comes down to the plot, I hope that there's increased pacing, like the plot does not move as slow as it has been moving. I'm not saying that there needs to be a marathon where we just have like 10 storylines covered in 3 episodes. That's not what I'm saying. I just want strong writing built in so we can actually have consistency in the character's personality, that the episodes flow. The episodes do flow, but what I hate is that some episodes where they might have, let's say, 2 characters talking for like 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Hey Jacoby, how's it going? I just hate it when they have every episode is like tune in to see what Veronica does next. Okay, I'm watching it for Veronica, but then it turns out Veronica only has like 3 minutes in an episode, and then the other 43 minutes mean nothing. Donnie, I do agree that David proposing to Erica would mess things up for Veronica. She would probably really try to kill her, but I don't think that's going to happen. That's just way too much too soon. Well, to be fair, I mean, Charles just saw Candace at a bar at a hotel and decided, you know what? Out of all the women I've been messing around with in the country, you're the one I want to make my first lady. And I'm just like, you know what? If they can do that with Charles and Candace, then Erica getting a proposal from David, which makes 0 sense, would not surprise me at this point. I just felt like 2017 made some bad decisions writing-wise with the haves and the have-nots. Yeah, Donnie, Candace got Charles whipped. Yep. CW says, I would like a backstory between Quincy and Candace to see where the hatred came from. Exactly. It goes back to where she said that she dropped dime on Quincy, turned him in for a murder, and that's where the animosity, well, I wouldn't say that's where the hatred started, even before that, when Quincy used to beat up on Candace. So yeah, there's definitely more story I want to see. Jacobe says, to me, when Charles told Candace about her son, she wasn't sad enough. It was disbelief. And then I felt like things got taken the wrong way because remember, initially, Candace thought Charles was the one that killed Quincy Jr. because Charles was willing to have Benny take the fall so Candace could be the first lady. So keep that in mind. Daquan, I'm not going to says I want Candace to be first lady. I even did a what if on the channel that actually did pretty well, and this was just me freelancing. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Candace Young as the first lady just to see what she would do. Hey, Destiny, how's it going this morning? Again, we're just talking about 2018, what to expect from the have and have-nots. Yeah, she would definitely be a have if she's the first lady, but remember that magazine article I was talking about, Veronica or Angela Robinson even says that Candace has the opportunity to become first lady and have her entire past erased. But she's probably going to do something underhanded because of the lifestyle she lives in terms of getting revenge on everyone. So she has the opportunity. Remember, Jeffrey is in jail for the murder. He hasn't been convicted, but he's been arrested. So technically speaking, he's filling in the position that Charles wanted Benny to fill. So Candace could easily call up Charles and be swept off to DC, and that's the end of her story. Well, you know, in terms of her life in Savannah, Georgia. Yeah, Denise, I agree. They were losing me in 2017. Yes. And as I said before, I am hanging with the show until the very end and likely 2020 because I've been into it so long. But there just hasn't been enough to keep me sticking in there. But hey, let's just talk about some of the good things in 2017. Number one, I know this has been a subject of controversy, but I actually do like the new Mama Rose. I think she's doing a very good job with the work that Tyler Perry has been giving her. In terms of, I love that we're having more Mama Rose, having her up front, a main character, so to speak, confronting Jim and actually being a force to be reckoned with. I actually believe Mama Rose when she says, hey, I'm going to, you know, make the streets red with blood and do this and do that. Another thing is, of course, Hannah's reaction to Quincy Jr.'s death, like the crying, the acting, just superb. I love it. And of course, my all-time favorite scene was the funeral scene well, Funeral Home, where Candace, Benny, and Hannah are going back and forth. That was definitely something I was looking forward to. Okay. Jacobe, on what episode do you think Candace is going to talk about she's going to get even? I don't know what episode exactly. I just know that was in the trailer, so I'm guessing that's going to be early on within the opening episodes of next season. Donnie says, I feel like they should finish the plots out before they add new plots to it. Preach on it, man. I've been saying that since like season 1, season 2, because we've had characters fleshed out and their plots just disappear, just like some characters have disappeared, not killed off, but just seem to have disappeared without any kind of resolution. CW, yes, Mama Rose is perfect. I would like to see Mitch get the dark side and join the family business. Yeah, there is in that magazine article, I'm just going to call her Veronica because that's who she is to me. She says that Benny and Mitch get into a get-rich-quick scheme, so that's definitely going to have Malone written all over it, because in the trailer we see all that money on the table, so there might be some underhanded business going on there. Yes, Cressaline did disappear, and as I said before, my theory is that she might show up if the Amanda murder is brought up again. That's why I think. Donnie says, what I feel like Veronica would not lose the high chair because she's the main antagonist of the show and Jim. I don't think Veronica's going to lose the high chair. I think that her being out of commission possibly is going to be an opportunity for people like Candace and maybe even Jim, maybe, to get some of their lost power back to them, so they might not get to Veronica heights. I feel like even if they got to the height of Veronica's wickedness and power, they would let their emotions get the better of them and then fall back to the bottom like they were. I definitely see that. Candace says, for me, I'm just interested in the 9 main characters in the Malones. All these extra characters are distractions. I think Tyler Perry should have only added characters that related to the main characters. Yes, characters who I don't mind added to the show. I feel like Mitch is the #1 because of the fact that he has an established friendship with Benny. He had a past relationship with Candace, and he's related to the Malones, who in turn have a connection to David and Jim. So yeah, Mitch is one of the few, I guess you could call minor characters who became secondary characters, who became main characters. Other characters who I enjoyed in their roles, making that transition from like one-off characters to secondary to main, were Warlock and Maggie Day until they got killed off for making stupid decisions. Hey guys, just 1 second. I'm reading through the chats. I'm glad to see they're coming in. And based off the chat so far, it looks like, can everybody see the screen as well as hear me clearly? Is everything going well with the connection today? Yeah, CW, I would like Candace to take Mitch as a serious love interest. He's good for her. I actually agree with that. I want to know more about, well, actually, I don't think we need to know more, because Candace even said to Mitch that the reason they broke up was because Mitch never introduced her to his family, which of course we find out is a whole look. I don't want anybody to know that I'm a Malone. If I'm correct, well, actually, yeah, never mind. I just answered my own question. Forget it. Jacobe, do you think Candace and Charles will see each other again? Definitely yes. I think it's interesting that Charles only had like one minor scene in the trailer, which was with Landon. So Charles is definitely coming back. Okay, good. I'm glad everybody can hear me out there. Okay, Melrose 1 says, yeah, why no public outcry or controversy for Jim when it announced on TV about him having an affair and kids outside of his marriage? Mainly because when you think about, look at the world we live in today. Obviously, the hot topic of discussion is like Me Too and the sexual harassment stuff going on. Look at the fact that politicians nowadays, it's not uncommon for them to get busted for having outside kids. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I always said that even back there in season 1, season 2, when we found out about Celine and Jim having a past together, that it definitely felt like Tyler Perry was writing in relation to what was going on in the world at that time. Of course, the big thing being Arnold Schwarzenegger, or having Jim cry kind of based around him as a politician. Yeah, Daquan, I don't know who the mystery woman is. I still say it's Quita in that scene with Benny without a shirt on. I still say it's Quita. Yeah, CW, Mitch is Candace are good together because Mama Rose has Candace in her good graces. But I feel like there's just been too much going on that Candace wouldn't look at Mitch the same way. I mean, if anything, she would probably still have a chip on her shoulder with Mama Rose just because of what she did to her when Jim had her abducted. Oh yeah, Donnie, Veronica has no sympathy. I agree with that. Ball is life. Do you think Candace hates her mom because she was raped, but by maybe one of her male friends because Hannah was a hoe, apparently not knowing? Yeah, I agree. That's the main reason Candace doesn't like Hannah. But the reason I give Hannah some credit is because remember, after Amanda died, she had Benny drive her to the Sarandon Hotel to meet with Candace, and that's when Benny even found out that Candace got raped by one of Hannah's men at the time, and Hannah pretty much put it all out there, asked for forgiveness and said I loved you. And in that moment, that's when I'm like, look, Hannah loves Candace. There's no doubt about it. She just doesn't like the way she acts and whatnot. But Candace, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Candace has ever once shown or verbally said that she loves her mother. Yes, aside from the car, remember that she orchestrated the whole scenario where Erica called Benny to have the car towed and then actually sold it to him, and Candace knew he would give the car to Hannah. The only reason she didn't do it directly was because she knew Hannah wouldn't take it, because Hannah knows that Candace got the money for the car through negative means. So at the end of the day, and I still need to do a part 2 to my live stream about Hannah loving Candace, but Hannah does love her daughter. I just hate the way Candace is acting towards her. Daquan, I even grazed over this subject in my trailer breakdown. I don't know what Charles and Landon are doing in that trailer, and I don't even want to know. Yeah, Eric, I hope we find out what dirt does David have on Veronica. I was actually speaking with somebody a couple nights ago on the live stream, and somebody said that it might be Veronica's mother, and that makes sense. I can't think of any other reason that David will be so confident going against Veronica. Perry next season starts next Tuesday on January the 9th. January 9th. I'm definitely going to be doing a live stream after I watch the episode. Yeah, Donnie, even if Veronica loses the high chair, it wouldn't matter because she already has a lot of resources. I agree, but even Angela Robertson pointed out that if the unborn grandchild that Melissa is having dies, then she might be suicidal. So that says that if her grandchild goes, then that's not good for her plans. CW, Hannah is self-righteous, and as a mother, you keep trying, especially when it's your fault, and Candace does try. When does she try? Please elaborate on that for me. I will admit that it does get annoying, and even Benny pointed out, like every time Benny says something about Candace, Hannah immediately assumes the worst. But it's like they say, the proof is in the pudding, and Candace really hasn't done that many things that would make it seem like she's changed. Even Hannah said, like, she's never had that moment where she has found God or had this big change in her life that made her realize, hey, I need to change. I wonder what moment that was for Hannah. I don't know if it was ever said that when she realized that Candace got raped by one of her men, that was when she became a Christian. I don't know if they ever explained that. If they did, please let me know. Yeah, Candace, I agree. She was never nice to Hannah. I mean, there were moments when she's like, hey, maybe my mom was right. She kept telling me that it's a cycle. Every time I do something, it turns out negative. But she's never had the wake up call. She realizes stuff, but she never acts on it. Yeah, Daquan, if Melissa's alive, I don't think the baby's dead. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Yeah, Eric, I agree. Candace has a right to be upset, but at the same time, I don't know. Because I get it. Like, I get it. Let's say there was a bully at your middle school who beat you up, like, every day. Then you don't see them for, like, 8 years. You're maybe in the middle of college at that time. You're both adults. And then everybody is like, oh, The guy you know that used to bully you, he's changed so much. He's a nice guy, but you're never going to look at him the same way other people do because you've seen him at their worst. Same thing with Candace. She has a right to be upset. I'm not saying she doesn't because she's lived with Hannah when she was young and knows what kind of woman she used to be. So when she's changed for the better, which I do believe Hannah did, you don't want to believe she's changed. Hence why Candace didn't want her grandson raised by Hannah. I can definitely understand that because she was raised with Hannah back when she was crazy. I can definitely see that. But at the same time, she has to open up and realize people can change. And just because you want to believe the worst in somebody doesn't mean they can't change for the better. I think the same thing goes for Hannah and the way she looks at Candace too. So I'm not saying either one of them are in the right or in the wrong. I'm just saying that Candace should definitely reconsider her notions about her mother. Yeah, Donnie, if they made an episode in everybody's background, I would be heavily, heavily satisfied with that. I feel like, oh man, I could just go on that. CW, remember when Veronica told Jim she has envelopes that'll be sent out with the dirt? Yeah, basically those puzzle pieces that are put together, everybody will be destroyed. And I was speaking with Chandler the other night, and he made a good point in terms of even if Veronica is killed off, she's still going to be in control. I definitely agree with that. I don't think Candace wanted Q to be cremated. She just wanted to make Hannah upset. Let me put it this way. I don't want her to be cremated, and I get it. She probably wanted to make Hannah feel the way that she does in terms of being bad. But even though I agree that Candace has a right to be angry at her mom based off how she was raised, there is no reason that I think Candace should assume that she purposely let little Quincy die just to get back at her. When has Hannah ever done anything to get back at Candace? Please elaborate on that in the comments. I literally don't know. Come on, it's obvious Celine killed Amanda right there. There's no way Carlos did. Yeah, I believe Celine is my top suspect on that. Candace has good intentions for herself, her friends, and family. She just can't put the time and work into achieve. I agree. At the core of everything she does have some goodness behind it a little bit, but she doesn't take the time. She just can't put the time and work. Yeah, she does have the resources, the drive. She could definitely be rich if she focused on law school and whatnot, or even became a businesswoman. Even Jim pointed that out in season 1. Like, you take that tenacity and like run like a Fortune 500 company or be a lawyer, because she can definitely use that drive for her benefit. Yeah, I think we can all agree, even if you dislike Hannah, if you like Hannah, if you hate Candace, if you don't like Candace, at the end of the day, there is no reason she should think that Hannah would purposely let her son die. Even Mitch was like, look, I was there, Benny was there. She did everything she could to protect your son. So literally, there's just no reason for her to even think that. Yeah, you're right, CW. She did try to make things better for her family in terms of financial security, but Hannah's correct in terms of like, look, the way you got that money, you're going to have people looking and try to kill us. I mean, literally, that does make sense. I get it. Hannah's made comments before that even before Candace got molested, she was a rotten child, like she was born a bad egg. Yeah, that scene in season 1 where she talked about how like Candace, when she was being born, like flipped over in her stomach or something like that and almost killed Hannah as a result. So basically it's like she was trouble even in the womb. So yeah. Like what Candace even Hannah even talked about how that one time you stole my tax return so you can buy like new clothes and a computer so you could fit in with the kids at school. So yeah, Candace has always been, well, Candace. Yeah, Candace is not a friend to anybody, including Jeffrey. I totally agree with that. Candace is the only one trying to make moves in that family, hence the blow up at the funeral. Yeah, she's always said that, Hannah just moves at a slow pace, because I think even Benny was like, yeah, well, maybe we can give mom a job as like a secretary at the tow company. No, that's too fast paced for mama, you know that. And she's like, Benny dreams, but he just thinks too small. Candace is the one making moves, I will admit. But at the same time, her moves usually involved other people getting hurt, conned or killed as a result. So yeah, Candace does have to drive. If she took that tenacity and used it towards positive things in order to get money the right way, I definitely think she could have been a driving force in making things better for her family as a whole. Yes, Candace, bad moves, yes, but she does have the spirit that can definitely be used for positive things. Yeah. Do you think Jeffrey is on Candace's list because he has been disloyal? No, I don't think Jeffrey's on that list. I mean, he's literally in jail right now. As long as he's in there, Candace is cool with it. And plus, we know that he's only in jail just until the time he's gotten softened up. So he'll do what Veronica wants. Yeah, ball is life. Carlos, yeah, Celine was acting how, like the way she wanted to get out of the house. Like, look, she's dead already. Yeah, I'm not really talking about Amanda's live stream. That'll be another one, but I agree. Hopefully that's something that's brought up. Yeah, well, matter of fact, I hope that Amanda is brought up in 2018, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Yeah, Eric, I do feel Jim Cry is going down because of Candace or Mama Rose, and I can't wait. I hate Jim. A lot of people do. Candace needs to break away from trying to fit in and just build herself up where she is. Like, I don't think it's about her fitting in when it comes to Candace. I think it's just her living in order to make other people look like, oh my God, this girl that conned us is like living well. Yeah, I feel like it goes more into her making other people uncomfortable. I think Jim Crow is going down because, yeah, Mama Rose, yeah. I can think of a few ways in a funeral home scene could have been worse. For instance, when Candace was going to the casket, I thought she was going to flip it over the one Quincy Jr. was in. I didn't even know he was in there, but my mom pointed out that, yeah, the funeral director did say, like, they had finished cleaning them up and whatnot. So let me just put it this way. I didn't expect her to flip it open. That was one of those, oh my God moments there. I didn't even realize. Yeah, Candace, I do remember. Remember way back when you thought Celine was Amanda's mother? That was the first time I highly disagreed with you. I think that was like one of my second blogs ever. I think the first one I did was Jim really loved Candace. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I did think that Amanda and Celine were related. The hairstyle, the way that Amanda was emotionally unstable. Celine seemed emotionally unstable in terms of her having an irrational paranoia that Hannah was going after Jim. Okay, CW, I dislike Jim too, but he's a slick one that always has a trick up his sleeve. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that is one thing I do like about Jim in terms of, like, I don't like his character as much as I used to, but he's never wanted to go down without a fight. Let's put it that way. Yeah, Candace, that's the way Tyler Perry likes to throw us off. Hence why I became an addict of the show. It was fun to make those theories and see if I was right. I feel like maybe 80% of the time I was correct, or at least going in the right direction. And I admit I've had some theories that were like way off, like whether or not Wyatt was actually their legitimate son. Is Mama Rose the mother of Jim Cryer? Yeah, I got a few. You got to go back on my blog on WordPress to read through, but there were some times I was really off the mark there. I would love to see the earlier days in Jim and Catherine. Yeah, that's why I kept saying a have and have not movie is something they should definitely do. I would love to get a backstory on all of these people. Yeah, I'm surprised we got a good number of people watching right now because, again, I know a lot of people probably in church right now. Let's see. Well, I'm waiting on some more chats to pop up, but really, just to kind of recap, what I'm hoping happens in 2018, we have faster pace, more character backgrounds revealed, and, like, their relatives and whatnot show up, having plot points resolved before adding 50 more in there, because if the show is ending in like 2 years, yeah, CW, a 2-night movie on OWN would be awesome. It would be cool. It probably won't happen, but I wish they would do like a New Edition movie style where we have like different nights where it's like, even on the weekend. That would be pretty cool to have like a have and have not movie for a couple of days, and then it leads up to Tuesday, which is a new episode. That would be great. Like, breaking down the character's history. Like, one episode will be like when Jim met Catherine, and another episode is Hannah, back when she was a kid, and maybe, when she started going with men, met Tony. Then another one's when Jim and Catherine have Amanda and Wyatt, when how everybody met together in law school, those kind of things. That would be great. That would be great. I think Candace being pregnant again could be bittersweet. Sweet. What if she grows up hating? Yeah. What if the child grows up hating Candace? Now, if Candace does get pregnant on the show, like Tinka Sumter was in real life, it would be cool to have her use that as an opportunity to raise her child the way she didn't do Quincy Jr. Yeah, I know, right? I remember there was a contest on Twitter. I actually won a signed autograph of Wyatt, as well as a DVD of a Madea Christmas. I'm not saying that was a bad movie, but I only watched it one time. I do think I enjoyed that movie more than the Halloween, the Boo movies. But it was funny watching the Madea Christmas because Tinka Sumter was on there. I think the irony was, what was it like? The school needed like $100,000 in order to keep some of the staff from being laid off. Her mom was, I forgot the actress name, but I know she was Dee on the Wayans Brothers. She was the mother of Craig on Friday. She starred in Amen, the daughter of Sherman Hemsley. I forgot her name. But I know it was funny because she treated her mom like, nice. It's great because like you see Aaron O'Connell, who plays Wyatt, how he acts on all those Hallmark Christmas movies, and then compare that to Wyatt on the show. Just readjusted the chair here. Yeah, Veronica. I don't think Veronica got hooked on drugs. I think she became an alcoholic and was addicted to pain pills when she hurt her back or something like that. Eric, yeah, season 5 was definitely crazy. I'm not saying it was a terrible season. It definitely had some of the best scenes in the entire series as a whole, but there is definitely some slow parts about it that made it negative. I do think there were some bad just as they were good. Catherine and Mama Rose throwing down. I would rather see those two working together than throw down. If Melissa survived the car crash and torments Veronica like Catherine did Veronica, have it so Melissa has to take care of Veronica like Diary of a Mad Black Woman when, what was it? Helen had to take care of her ex-husband or whatever. What I would like to see is if Melissa's father didn't die, but she still needs the money for Veronica. Or you know what? Forget it. Let's have it so Melissa pulls a Helen and like tortures Veronica because she's in a wheelchair or something. That would be cool. Yeah, Eric, I actually thought about that. Will Jeffrey try to kill his wife? Oh, excuse me. Will Justin try to kill his wife to be with Jeffrey? I don't know. I mean, shoot. It wouldn't surprise me. He's crazy. Oh, thank Melrose One. Anna Hosford is the actor's name. Yes, thank you. I cannot think of the name to save my life. Wow, 30 minutes, not bad. Let's see here. Me and Chandler actually talked about something I'll do another live stream on. It's about, and I don't watch Empire, so sorry. I know my mom even told me I should start and then do episode reviews on it to get a lot of views because it would. But I think it was said that Lucius got into an accident and lost his memory or something like that about all the bad stuff he did, and he changed his character, like his personality. It will be interesting to see what would happen to Veronica if she got in that wreck and changed her personality around. That would be interesting to say the least. It wouldn't surprise me. It seems like everybody who gets into a coma in this show wakes up with a completely different personality from when they got knocked out. So Benny is the prime example of that. Okay. Right, we got a lot of chats here. Let's see. Anything else? 'Cause I think looking through the chats, I've went through everything so far. Again, not a big major topic at least this morning. I can see David or Catherine being stuck taking Veronica like the Madea movie. I think David, again, I said it before that it wouldn't surprise me if David does change, or if Veronica changed her personality after the car crash. David would go back to her. Yeah, Candace Justin needs to go. Yeah. All right, any last minute questions before we end the stream here? And again, I will be doing another one probably later tonight. Yeah, Justin's definitely a mad character. And then the fact that he's constantly going to be going into Jeffrey's cell while he's in jail is going to be saying a lot as well. Like he'll take Jeffrey to the interrogation room and probably do whatever he wants with them. That's pretty disturbing. Yeah, I agree, CW. He came on the show and killed it. I will admit, there's never a dull moment when it comes to Justin. One thing I do respect about his character, like when he makes threats, he delivers on it. Like, you know, he pretty much stood up to Veronica, and he pretty much, you know, delivered on his part. He wasn't one of those characters who just talked big and did nothing. He literally like, you know what? I don't like this. B, I'm going to take care of her. Nah, I don't think Veronica needs to be in the hospital longer than Benny or Wyatt. I think she needs to be in there long enough so all the other characters have some stretching room so they can develop more. All right. I'll take two more questions here, then we'll end the stream. Okay, do you think Dave will go after Justin when he finds out about Veronica? Ooh. Well, look at what he did to Jim when he thought that Jim had her killed. So maybe. We'll have to see. Remember, if Veronica is in that coma or whatever, Melissa doesn't know who was ramming them from the back. She doesn't know who Justin is. She knows of Justin in terms of, oh, Jeffrey has this guy, but she doesn't know what he looks like. Justin's going to tell Jeffrey, so we'll have to see. All right, I'll take one more question. Anything else before we wrap things up right now? When am I doing part two? Yeah, I'm going to do part two on Candace and Hannah probably within the next couple of days. I might do it tonight. Now, Melissa's mom has nothing on Veronica, as far as I know. Okay. Yeah, I don't know when Catherine's nephews were mentioned, but I do know she said she had siblings when she talked about how, well, actually, when Candace was talking to Hannah in episode 2 about how Catherine is an heiress, had the money split up between her and her siblings. But yeah. All right. Well, guys, it was great talking with you this morning. Again, not a big major stream, but just kind of talk about what I hope will happen in 2018. More development, less characters, faster plot, and definitely tie up some loose ends. So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'll probably get a stream up tonight, probably around 7 or 8 o'clock. I'll definitely let you know in the community tab. So I hope everybody has a happy New Year's Eve. And if I don't see you on the stream tonight, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful 2018.